Alrighty then. Yo, if you know that reference, hey, hit the like button. I didn't even mean to do that reference, but shout out to, I'm not gonna spoil the reference, but I'm pretty sure you guys already know who says, alrighty then. Anyways, it's your boy KhunShawn, and we're gonna check out this video called What is a VTuber, which is very interesting because this person has 13 subscribers. In 2 days, they got 100 views on this video. So welcome to the content creation community, Gaia. If you indeed are watching this, which you probably are, let's go ahead and check out and dissect this video. Let's see how accurate is it. What is a VTuber? Let's talk about it.
Greetings, I'm Gaia, and today we'll be answering the question, what is a VTuber? Most of you will already know what a VTuber is. With the recent resurgence in popularity, more people are recognizing that VTubers are beginning to enter the mainstream.
Damn, we can't get no indies on screen.
Examples. Other instances
well, that's
of
not an
media focus
indie.
are
Hold
less
on.
positive.
Guys, anybody that's role playing as this is a
let's go.
Or has a working in some type of like basement.
By the way, this guy right here, he's a dummy. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He's just talking.
Like, I'm not even trying to be weird, but like, chat, like, if we're being real, like,
chat, if we're being real. What am I looking at?
But
no,
there is a lot of focus on
bottom
VTubers
text
at the moment. So, what exactly are they?
Let's talk about it.
VTuber is a blanket term, shortened from the longer title virtual YouTuber. A VTuber is someone who uses a virtual avatar, either 2D,
buff puff.
3D,
Damn.
or
Hold on a
is
second.
someone who uses a virtual.
Can we acknowledge how goddamn beautiful buff puff? Like, I ain't even know buff. Like, look at this, bro. Look, let's go ahead and just do a quick design rating, bro. This one, classic. We're gonna give this one a 6.7 out of 10. This one, bro, this is a 9.8 out of 10, bro. This design is fire. This one's kind of cool. We'll give this an 8.4. And then this one's a bit cooler because it got the skull. We're going to give this one an 8.6, bro. Buff Puff design is fire, bro.
Virtual avatar, either 2D, 3D, or mixed media.
No, you forgot the PNG tubers.
We'll get into examples later.
They count.
To represent themselves
that's
while providing entertainment and or educational content. VTuber representation varies greatly, but the general concept is someone has an idea
bro, not Tony the Tiger
for their brand identity, designs a character, and pays someone to create, then rig that character to respond to their IRL movements. I added the asterisks to someone because a VTuber isn't always a person. Though a common misconception does exist that all VTubers are actually 40-year-old men or simply AI behind the scenes.
Definitely a misconception.
In order to tell you where this comes from, I would have to go back to the beginning.
Yes, of the internet. Oh, well, there was this one time, there was a guy.
Stop there! Dear God, not! VTubers have technically existed for a long time. Some of your favorite YouTubers, such as Swoozy, uploaded their first vlog on November 11th, 2008. Or maybe you watched The Odd One Is Out, whose earliest public video was posted on August 30th, 2004. These early storytelling YouTubers laid the groundwork for the term now known as a PNG tuber.
I gotta hear about this because when it comes to like Swoozy was making cartoon videos. He was drawing, he was sketching them out, right? I wouldn't call that a VTuber. Same one with the Odd One Scout. They were making cartoons, bro. Like, I don't think you could just go ahead and take an old medium, like people that were doing storytime YouTube, and say, oh yeah, they're VTubers, by the way, or they laid the foundation for VTubing. I don't know about all that. Like, maybe if you want to say because they were storytime or YouTubers and they made their characters, that inspired PNG tubers to create PNG, but like I doubt it, bro. Like this is a big ass stretch, but I'm gonna keep letting you cook.
More specific, but technically a VTuber. PNG tubers utilize images as their representation and expression as opposed to a fully rigged 2D model.
So that is what we're going with. Yeah, I had to disagree with that one. We can't be over here trying to take all the credit when it comes to creativity on the platform. Nah, bro. Storytime YouTubers or cartoon YouTubers or drawing YouTubers, artists YouTubers, whatever you want to call them, they've been doing their own thing. And then VTube sprung out. Like, if you want to say maybe it was like some type of like secret love child that popped up eventually through time. I mean, bro, even then, that's a bit of a stretch. But hey, everything comes from somewhere. So, I mean, maybe you guys let me know in the comments below what y'all think.
While these specific YouTubers have since shown their face, they still consistently use a PNG avatar to tell their animated stories. A great example of this method of storytelling, but with an innovative twist, would be Shindigs. Their use of this medium to create fun live moments with chat and compose them together as an engaging story for YouTube is highly entertaining.
You keep missing. I'm down here.
And like this isn't even the same with like Swoozy06 and Ottawa Scout. This is totally different.
Here. No, I'm down here. No.
I mean, sure, you could call this a PNG. You definitely could say this is PNG YouTube.
That's the wrong area. That's the wrong area.
But this ain't Swoozy or
Carrie
Scout.
has many relevant examples for new VTubers to get started with a PNG model before their 2D version is complete.
Hey, shout out to them.
I recommend checking out their video and considering starting out as a PNG tuber before investing in the high costs of 2D and 3D models.
A quick little cost example for anybody wanting to do like a VTube model. All right, I got mine. I barely used it. I used it for maybe like 2 videos, maybe like 3 streams, and it cost me about $400 to $600. I can't remember, but it's around that much.
To get down to the actual root of VTubing, we have to go even further back to individuals such as Ami Yamato, who uploaded her first vlog using a virtual 3D model on June 13th, 2011.
I would say this is way closer to VTubing than the other examples used earlier. Hey, look, Jaden Animation.
Or maybe you've heard of Weatheroid Type A Airy, who first aired on April 13th, 2012.
And the news.
As a live news anchor for a 24-hour Japanese weather forecasting company.
This you could say is part of VTube.
Others would argue that the first official VTuber was Kazuna Ai, the first to actually coin the
Hey, we just watched Sakuna. Go check out her music video. It was fire.
Term in 2016.
If you don't know who Sakuna is, it's okay.
Who is not an individual, but a team of people working in tandem with a voice actress to provide a cohesive experience, expanded on what we recognize now as a VTuber. Now that we know where the term and its origins come from, we ought to get into what VTubers look like now, and the many, many forms they come in. Sit back, grab your popcorn.
Hold on a second, man. That Madara Khan one to the far right. Hold on, man. Hey, hold on.
Your waifu body pillow and your gamer supplements, not sponsored, because we're going to go down the rabbit hole of what exactly it means to be a VTuber in 2024. Like any medium of personal expression, people begin to innovate and expand on the original concept over time. There are countless examples of current-day VTubers using non-traditional methods to present their avatars. Fairy Sammy, a Rococo painting come to life, has an elegant and exceptionally unique presentation for their 2D model. Or, if you're looking for something more retro-inspired, Blubbermuffins is a great example showcasing the high range of possibilities in pixels. Clover is defining what it means to be the absolute cutest, constantly adding new adorable creatures to their pasture and making incredible strides learning Live 2D in real time on stream. Yomi Quinley is creating mixed reality chat interactable effects that are truly terrifying. And that's just the world of 2D models. Many opt to entirely skip going through the 2D process and instead go straight to 3D or motion capture.
Her neck.
Squeegee 3D is quickly making waves with her educational style content, breaking down the barrier between entertainment and education while helping more people to understand why and how a good character design works. Many of you are probably here because current media attention surrounding VTubers is largely focused on drama and controversy.
True.
Recent clarifications on the Twitch guidelines have led to a string of VTubers being banned or warned about their appearance and behavior. This has led to the perception that Twitch is expressly targeting VTubers.
And they are.
This attention, coupled with Iron Mouse breaking the all-time Twitch sub record,
let's go. W Mousy.
Has had everyone talking about what exactly a VTuber is. A lot of people are asking if VTubers are even real people, which they are.
Some.
Even in the case of Neurosama, an actual AI VTuber who was created and is still managed by a real live person as a passion project. Vedal, the creator of Neurosama, has been meticulously adding more features and compatibility options so other VTubers can have fun and unique interactable content with Neurosama.
Actually, I've just changed.
Bro, I'm waiting for somebody to do like one of these videos and then they bring me up as like it's like, oh, here's somebody that's very familiar with the VTube culture, and then I pop up and then I'm like talking whatever I'm talking. Like, bro, that'd be so fun. And then I'm gonna react to that whole video and be like, oh, hey, that's me.
Changed my mind. I like it better when it's just you working on me. Yeah, let's keep it that way.
That's about what I thought.
I didn't think you were serious about open sourcing me anyways.
Rather than attempting to explain the discourse surrounding VTubers, I think instead I'll point to specific VTubers who can do that for me. Side note, just because I am listing them here does not mean that I agree or condone their opinions or takes on specific topics. Lydia Nakazawa is constantly on the pulse when it comes to talking about the latest developments.
Hey man, what y'all think about Lydia?
In VTuber news. Most notable for her coverage of Niji-Sanji and its related controversies. If you've heard about the separation of Selen Tatsuki and subsequent rebrand to Dokibird, you might have heard it first from Lydia. Another prominent VTuber is False ID. Their structured and well-edited content allow for extensive blanket coverage for VTuber updates across the globe, and generally well investigated with occasional insider interviews. One of the earliest VTubers I discovered being Officer Arundel, who started out making card.
Yeah, we just started reacting to her. She definitely has a more, how do you say, grounded take on like whatever's happening in the community.
Game and interview style content, eventually finding their niche in presenting the newest developments for smaller VTubers and creators. They aren't the only adorable bunny VTuber bringing the news.
Oh,
Depressed Nosagi does
Bro, when's the last time Nosagi made a video? We haven't seen him in a long time.
Retrospective video essay style content, exploring trends, industry standards, and the parasocial relationship that often exists between creators and their audience. There are many intriguing and engaging
the VTube community is awesome. There's a lot.
News-tubers I could get into. But in the interest of making this video short, I'll list them in bulk here.
Okay. Oh, Rima got a shout out. Let's go. Yam. I think I've seen Yam a couple times. I have seen Licorice. I've seen, we react to Static Tokyo kind of frequently. Mari. We haven't seen Mari. Rev. Yep, familiar with Rev. Toledo. Yeah, Toledo. Salvi, yeah, we've seen Salvi a couple times. I think I've seen her, Saphira? I think we've seen her literally only once.
You may have noticed that it seems like the VTuber niche is highly saturated, potentially even oversaturated.
I think it's oversaturated on Twitch, definitely. But when it comes to YouTube, I think YouTube is just so big and so vast that it's okay. But when it comes to Twitch, like, yeah, 100%. That's why I was excited when Pippa decided to go to Kick, right? And I think like more VTubers should go to Kick. Like if Pippa goes to Kick, and then I think maybe 1,000 other VTubers go to Kick as well, I think it would balance out the ecosystem a bit more. So that'd be very interesting to see.
And while that is correct, I would argue it's still a rather undiscovered category.
True.
I mentioned previously that VTubers such as Matara-Khan and Iron Mouse are beginning to enter the mainstream with their recent successes.
Yep.
There's also a reverse effect happening where flesh tubers, quotation marks, are gradually becoming VTubers themselves.
I tried it, not really for me. I like doing flesh tube. Even though that does technically exclude me from like, I feel like if I went full VTuber mode, I definitely would have more people watching. There would be more people interested, and I would get more like collaborations and stuff like that. That being said, I still like being me, so we'll roll with it. We'll see.
This may be because VTubing is appealing to many people who have to deal with the intense parasocial relationship audiences can have with a creator. The ability to have a separation between your IRL self and world of social media is exactly what some people were waiting for. While VTubers aren't exactly taking over, there is definitely a pipeline for creators shifting over to the world of cute anime girls, which is honestly peak. But why is it happening? I would argue that outside of identity obfuscation, VTubers are generally more successful at creating a cohesive brand and identity. Devin Nash, not a VTuber, has some interesting things to say about why they believe VTubers stand out more compared to the rest of Twitch.
All VTubers, to me, they feel like they have special sort of branding. Their branding is like really freaking good. Their art is really freaking good. Their colors are really freaking good. Compare this to like the average streamer, and he's just like some gray, blackish blob in like a background. Branding wise, not exciting. Compared to this stream, freaking colors, like deep red eyes, pink. And when you're in a world where everybody in your category is competing directly against you, dudes reacting, IRL stuff, people talking, and then here's this like very kind of unique person, and then look again, here's another one. But look at the difference in branding here. Really high production quality. There's like people dancing around, active chat. You can put sandwiches between her. You can pat her on the head. That's some stream interaction. My initial desire to click on something like, oh, like what's interesting and what's happening. I look at all of these thumbnails and these two jump out at me like probably the most.
But I mean, at the same time, whenever you even say that, right, you're comparing VTube to IRL. Just go down the list of like VTube. How do you check which VTuber is which when more people are going to be actively going into the media, right? So right now, definitely sure you could distinguish the VTube from the IRL, and like in this makes it a difficult question because when I'm thinking, it's like he's talking about Hassan, right? He's talking about like to get big on any platform, right? It takes consistency, luck, blase blase, a following, blase blase, right? People know who you are as a person. Well, not 100%, but they know you as a person whenever you do get more popular with just being online, right? In general, the human you versus a VTuber that gets popular. You know, when a VTuber gets popular, that's amazing. That being said, there's a lot of VTubers that are doing pretty well when it comes to like a small niche community. And I think the same could be said for IRL. But the real question like I have for everybody would be like, what do you think would be more easy to be successful with? Being successful as a small time IRL streamer or being more successful as a small time Twitch VTuber? Like it's interesting because I'm thinking like there's so many scenarios, right? Like just look at me, right? If I was to be streaming on Twitch, you know, we'd get maybe like 10, 15, 20 people, right? Versus 5 or 15, 20 people as a VTuber. You know, which one do you think has the ability to grow more? I don't know. I think it's very interesting, but like right now he's comparing apples and oranges. I need to see him compare the different types of apples and the different types of oranges. I hope that made sense.
This seamlessly leads me into my next point. Even if you don't want to become a VTuber or don't identify with the content they create, you can still learn a lot from their success. Having a solid brand identity and sticking
Why you think we got the do-rag and the shades? Come on, baby, let's go.
To it is essential for being recognized across the internet.
Thanks.
Do you have a content creator you vaguely remember, but can't seem to find them despite desperately enjoying their content? That may be because they were just starting out and hadn't yet established what they wanted their brand to look like. While not world-ending, it can really suck to find someone you like and then never again. We've all been victims of the YouTube unsubscribe apocalypse. To this day, I stumble across creators I swear I had subscribed to in the past, but since their name wasn't memorable and branding not existent, I simply forgot they existed until the algorithm.
And like, look at Pyro's. Like, Pyro has no real branding. He's using other people as his thumbnails. But Pyro Cynical, right? Just the name alone, he's been on the platform for enough time to where he is definitely going to be popping in his area. In his area, you know, he's getting hella views using other people's faces. But what about him and his brand, right? Who is Pyro Cynical? Like, you're just going to see a brand, or you're just going to see a video with a lot of views, and you're going to see somebody's face on it, and you're not going to know it's a Pyro Cynical video until you click on it. So that's definitely, yeah, that's true. When it comes to branding, like of course he could put his face on all the thumbnails, but how do you stand out necessarily doing that, right? Which is again why I have like the do-rag and the shades, right? A way to stand out when everybody else looks the same because everybody else is IRL. But then again, how will you stand out if, you know, a lot of people are doing VTube, a lot of people are doing VTube news. But I mean, I guess a good way is just like your character, right? We got Rima, who's a fox girl. We got False ID, who's a human. And then we got like all these other VTubers that are different animals or different characters. So I guess that is definitely a way to stand out. And you would stand out more than just one human versus another human. So yeah, VTube, I think definitely VTube is the way to go. But how do you like differentiate yourself from a different person doing VTube if you guys are both small streamers? You know, of course, it comes down to content and stuff like that at the end of the day. Content is king, regardless. But like even getting that initial look, you're gonna have to like have a super fire model, or you're gonna have to have like name recognition, like, oh, go check them out. You know, their streams are fire. Like have the toggles, have the widgets, which I mean, bro, it's gonna cost a lot more money to be doing stuff like that. So definitely it's a big ass investment. But then again, it's a big investment just doing normal YouTube. Like you gotta buy a mic, gotta buy a camera. But at the end of the day, it's just one on one. At least for like when you're watching me, bro, it's like a human talking about VTube versus a VTuber talking about VTube. You know, which one people prefer? I don't know. I would assume VTube and VTube, but y'all let me know in the comments below. I appreciate,
them
yeah, and shout out to y'all for watching your boy. I appreciate that.
to me as new again. So what can you learn from this? A few simple concepts, really. Number 1, recognizability is king. You can have the best content, but if you aren't recognizable, you aren't memorable. Over time, you will be subject to the ever-changing environment of whatever platform you present yourself on. And if you refuse to take yourself seriously and ensure that your audience can find you wherever you go, eventually you will be forgotten.
Recognizability versus content. You know, I think that's a definitely an interesting question, right? I still think at the end of the day, content is king, right? You get recognized because of your content. Like, sure, you can have the most awesome B2 model on the planet, but if you're not making good quality videos or you're just not making videos in general, who's gonna watch, right? You can have the most fire branding, but you're not doing anything. You're not making anything. So nobody's going to be watching you. So I think content is king, but definitely you could say recognizability could go hand in hand or it's right behind it.
Number
Brand
2,
personality.
brand equals personality. Many VTubers created a brand that expresses who they are as a person. If your audience can immediately recognize and relate to parts of your brand identity, they gain a better understanding of your personality.
Hey, what personality y'all think I have when y'all be seeing my thumbnails? Like if you just like, and there's a lot of people that are like checking me out like right now. Like shout out to Sailor Maid. Like she sent me a message talking about, oh, you know, on my private account I saw your video was recommended. Like what do y'all be like, I gotta hear a new person, right? What did you think to expect when you saw me on a video on a thumbnail and you see this? Like it's a black guy.
We experience the inverse of this every
funny.
year when Pride comes around and Big Corpa attempts to pander to the gays, thems, and theys everywhere.
Shout out to the gays.
It doesn't feel genuine and causes a visceral reaction for some and
For
complete
real.
disengagement for
And it's
others.
understandably so, bro. Like, bro, big companies and corporations do not give a damn about your sexuality or your racial ethnicity. They only care about how much money can you make them. So, of course, if they're going to be using your identity to try and make money, yeah, it's kind of like, hey, man, get this shit out of here. But they use everybody to try and make money. So it just is what it is. Just don't buy the shit.
This is because people want to relate to others and can tell when that connection feels forced or is just an attempt to pander for the purpose of profit. Number 3, storytelling keeps your audience engaged. A prominent part of every VTuber's branding is their lore, or the storytelling elements that support their character design. People love a good story. It's a core part of how we communicate with each other as human beings. If you disagree, consider how you go about talking about your day to your significant other after a particularly hard shift, or a really
And the other person does not care.
interaction you had with a driver on the
We do not care.
road that just has you reeling. You feel the
That's
urge
funny.
to share that experience with others, and they with you. And because of it, you feel more connected.
I mean, to be honest, like, yeah, I definitely understand what they're going for with this, like talking about the lore and all that. But then again, bro, how many people can be the king of hell? How many people can be a fallen angel? How many people can be a demon before it's redundant? How many people can be a knight that slayed a dragon? Blase, blase, blase. A lot of the lore, man, is copy paste of somebody else's shit. Because then again, nothing is original. Nothing is new underneath the sun. That is this earth that we live on, right? So it definitely gets repetitive and redundant to see a lore. And if anything, you could see a lore and be like, this reminds me of somebody else's lore. This reminds me of that person's lore. So, like, sure, definitely storytelling, but like, I think what's more important besides lore is just like a genuine story, right? We know the story of Full Moko. right? They were twin VTubers that were in another company. That company failed. They thought they weren't going to make it. They signed up to HoloLive, what, 2 or 3 different times, and they got rejected until they finally made it, right? That IRL story, way more important than the demon dogs of whatever the fuck from the Holo story, right? But that's just, I mean, that's my opinion. Y'all let me know what y'all think. If y'all like lore, I mean, because lore videos, that's fire. But lore on its own, it's just something to go with. But I guess it's better than having somebody like trauma dump their past, right? If I was to come out and be like, "Oh yeah, I did this, I did that, blase blase, this didn't work, and now I'm streaming." It's like, I mean, that could be engaging, right? It just depends on how you tell the story. All stories can be amazing, but all stories could also be boring, depending on how the story is told.
The same is true for creating content. Remember when I mentioned storytelling content creators at the beginning of this video? There's a reason they're still huge to this day. An engaging, arcing
Hey, shout out to Domix.
narrative or story to tell your audience keeps them coming back for more. And if you play it right, it tells them more about who you are as a person. Since we've covered exactly what a VTuber is and what makes them successful, I think it's time to look to the future and explore where VTubing is headed and what we can hope
let's
to
talk about
expect.
it.
As VTubing is still a growing medium for self-expression and is primarily focused on entertainment, I can't wait to see a whole new variety of content through the lens of VTubing. Maybe we will see a new sect of educational VTubers we can learn nuclear physics from, or museum curator VTubers who can tell us all about history and science.
Yeah.
Or maybe a VTuber from the future who is trying desperately to help get humanity to Mars. Elon, DM me. I swear, if we collab, we can get humanity back to the moon and more.
Okay. Sure.
Now that you fully understand what a
speaking of Full Moco, wow.
VTuber is, you hopefully have a better understanding as to why they've gained massive popularity as of recently. If you like this video, why don't you go check out some of the creators I mentioned? All the creators will be linked in the description below. And
you know what? I'll say this was a cool ass video. Gaia Govina VT, bro. I can't wait to see what else you got popping next. This was a cool video. Definitely recommend it. You gave out some cool shout outs. You talked a lot about VTube, like culture in general, on top of what is a VTuber, which is pretty good, right? You gave people like a little taste of what it is to be part of the VTube community. So yeah, this is definitely a cool video. Definitely would have a part 2 that spins off more into culture, right? Specifically when it talks about indie versus corpos and stuff like that, and name some corpos and all that other stuff. But yeah, this was a great video. Yeah, I like the edits. The edits were cool. Your voice is nice. The background music was really good. And yeah, if anything, like, I just can't wait to see more. This definitely still has the look of somebody starting off new, right? The budget is on a shoestring. So if we can get some likes, get some subscribes so they can get that budget up so we can get even more, I'm excited to see it, bro. Like, definitely. I'm on the Gaia train, bro. Let's go ahead and see what we can do for Gaia. Let's see if we can get Gaia to 1K within by Christmas. Let's see if we can get them to 1K so they can start making some bread on the channel. Maybe even before Christmas, if anything. But yeah, this was a dope video. Shout out to the Discord because that's where they sent this. So join the Discord, link down below. Drop your videos and I'll be checking them out. It's your boy KhunShawn, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.